turn it on and sit over there, maybe?
Yeah. And I like double checking.
Is it on?
On and running, and as I said, you have 1.5 hours or a bit more until you're tired.
Are you almost ready, Boris?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Like old man letters on your phone, yeah?
Sorry?
Big ones.
Yeah.
Okay, Boris, Q&A.
Yes, sure.
2.
Yes.
We are about halfway in the questions, and the first question we have is a long introduction, and we have the time, so why not? Janman says, I was struck once by an interview with John Coetze, who, when asked what he thought about the act of writing, replied, well, it's just work.
Sorry.
Well, it's just work.
Who? I didn't.
Coetze.
Who?
He's one of the greatest novelists of our time.
What's the name?
Coetze. South African, moved to Australia.
Yeah.
Disgrace, Masters.
Yeah. Sure.
So I think he won the Booker Prize twice and is nominated this year for the 3rd time. So anyway, he said, well, it's just work. Several other world-known creative people have voiced the same comment. They are passionate, ambitious, and work hard on their creativity, but in the end, it's just work, including the occasional off day and feeling of what use is there. You, however, always talk about your love for the game. 3 questions related to these observations are: first one, we talked about this before, but we can always repeat it. Do you see chess more as a game of sport or a work of art?
I think both.
Both, yeah.
Both.
Why choose? Second question. Surely at times you must have thought of chess as just work, another tedious draw, and all your pre-game preparation amounting to no new results. Lots of analysis of a variation and nothing to show for it. Just work.
It's work, yeah. It's work. But also, okay, it's not just press a button, yeah. It's kind of interesting work. Yeah.
You always enjoy it.
The work, yeah. I always enjoy. I can tell a story.
Sure, please do.
That when I won World Cup, I became a celebrity in my country. And all these prime ministers, mayor, media were called for me. I felt exhausted. And one day I decided it's enough. I cancelled all media and meetings with mayor or something. And I called Alex and you should come and we should analyze some game. And I felt so good, really. I felt like...
Back to work, yeah.
I felt normal, yeah. I have so much energy, yeah. I felt I'm losing energy all previous days. And the day we sat 4 or 5 hours and worked, analyzed some games from previous tournament. I really felt in the evening, I felt really good. Yeah.
So here
it was a proper day.
Here, like 10-15 minutes ago, we were sitting signing a lot of books for the chess shop here, and you said, this makes me feel like a celebrity.
Yeah.
But in reality, would you like being a celebrity?
No.
Is it only for a moment?
No. Well, it depends what you think celebrity. For me, celebrity is a word kind of negative connotation. It's like stars of reality show. It's for me. So I consider myself as a professional who quite succeeded in my profession.
And your biggest hero, Cruyff, was for sure a celebrity.
No.
Not
in a way, no. I don't think so. I think what he's remembered that how he revolutionized football. Yeah. That Ajax, Barcelona, Dutch teams. Okay. He found the foundations. There is a style. There is an academy. How it should be done. Yeah. That there are junior teams and they go up, and then that what he normally insisted that the president of the club doesn't interfere with the main person in the club is a team manager. Who decides who will play? Not it should be decided on the sport value, importance of players, not just on idea of president how many T-shirts he wants to sell. That's what he fought always. Yeah. That's how I remember him.
Okay. Well, it's the definition of the word celebrity, but Anyway,
Yes.
let's go to the third question,
Yeah.
which is enter the computer. I can imagine that at your level, much opening preparation is about memorizing instead of understanding. For grammar's not good here. For one top of your world-class understanding, the computer has brought so many concrete variation to the fore. Do you see this as a necessary evil? But do you accept the premise that much of your opening preparation is memorizing?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
No, I think it's a misunderstanding.
I don't misunderstand. Okay, I have to understand why each move is made.
Mhm.
I try to understand why each move. When the computer insists and it proves, I have to understand the reason why. Why, let's say, it's a move I would think it's not good.
Mhm.
Because first I try to look always it's a move I think first.
Also, of course, an important thing in opening preparation is if you just push the button, then you're not ahead of the competition. They have the same button.
Of course. But also, okay, we can always see that 15 years ago, computers could reach dips maybe 16, applying programs were weaker. And the same people who claim computer is everything claim that it was everything there already. Well, you could see that if you let computer go to 16, he would show one move. You go to 20, he would show another move, 24 next move, 28 next, 35 next, 40 another move. So it means that just depth of computer, many times notice that, let's say, that the move, let's say I suggested some pawn sacrifice, yeah, and the dips of 20 computer were against me, and I couldn't prove to him actually. But when computer reached the dips of 30, new powerful computer, he supported that the pawn sacrifice is correct.
He grew up.
He grew up.
Yes. But that leads to a very obvious question. So you will go through your old analysis from time to time when you feel the computer has improved?
Well, it depends how well I did this analysis. If I thought that I worked with my head, I would check occasionally. But of course, some analysis have to be revised. Yeah, you can't rely on your old analysis. Because computer, of course, would point out some corrections, maybe the important ones.
Okay, Tom, we'll see you later.
See you later.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, a few more simple questions. Just come with a name here. Who do you think will be the next world champion after Carlsen?
No idea.
Okay, if you had to choose one name?
I cannot choose.
You don't
Why
want
should I choose? I never thought about it. And I'm actually not interested in this question.
It's not interesting.
Yeah.
What would you put a percentage chance for kayaking against Carlsen?
40.
40? Is that high?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it doesn't matter, yeah? It means, let's say you say 35, it means he will win one match out of 3, yeah? But it could be precisely this match.
Yeah.
So this numbers means nothing.
Actually, a more interesting question is, at the time, what did you think your chances were against Anand?
50-50.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but okay, if you go to public poll, it would be different, yeah.
They would look at the rating and say no chance.
Rating, okay, people look at the past to predict future, which is
Well,
not a good idea.
It's helpful.
No. In
No.
chess it's not helpful.
Well, it's helpful, but it will tell you something. It will tell you that I have no chance against Anand.
Well, maybe.
But it will not tell you everything for sure. Next question is, do you think that something like random chess would help promote the game?
I think this game is promoted well enough.
I think so too. So, next question. I have read that your favorite player is Rubinstein. Do you have any advice how a Class C player should approach studying his games?
I think the way I did it when I was a kid, I just went through these games with good annotations and tried to understand the ideas behind, and also to accumulate all pattern recognitions.
Okay. How have the demands on top players changed since you turned professional? And which factors have enabled you and Anne Kramnik to meet these challenges you could still develop into your 40s? We talked about this before, but we can take it again.
Yeah, actually it's a good question about demands because, well, actually it's already changed because, let's say, people who played in 60s, okay, very few did any preparation, yeah. We know the stories like in the tournaments, players, even top level tournaments, players were playing cards day and night, and then stopped like half an hour before the game and went to play, yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine covered a Larsen Tal candidates match, and he was playing blitz with Tal every morning until Tal said, well, I have to go for the game now.
Yeah, which is not the case, but also now it's more energy consuming, you have to be more sportive, you have to be more focused, and also opening preparation changed. I remember how I was preparing for Interzonal 1990. Queen Citizen was popular at that moment, and one day I was on my sofa or something, and I thought, okay, maybe it's a good idea. Petrosian system, A3, bishop b7, a3, d5. One idea is bishop g5, bishop e7, queen a4 check, which was not tried. Another idea, you know, because if you take c d5, knight d5, queen c2, knight c3. So I decided I would play queen c2 to avoid this possibility, and after bishop e7 I would take on d5 zone. Knight d5 already bishop d2. And then that was it, and I used it for 3 next years. I played, I don't know, 5 or something games. I beat with this queen c2, Korchnoi and Kharkov in the same month. And now it's a joke, yeah. You have to do much more work. Even if you find an idea very early, like, okay, let's say Kramnik or Carlsen, of course they dig deeply into middle game to see what types of position would occur.
But I think today, my impression is that there's so much creativity in the opening. Like in move 6, against the knight off, they found so many interesting ideas.
Yes.
They find this a4.
A4 is old one.
Yeah, it's an old move, but this idea of a4 and that's
Knight c6, a5.
Take on c6 and a5.
No, even immediately.
Even immediately.
No, to take on a5 was known, but knight 6, a5 immediately, it's impressive. Kamsky introduced it in candidates in Kazan against Topalov.
Oh, and recently you faced 6 knight b3.
Knight b3, and Bartel had incredible success.
And almost beat you as well.
Well, he was winning after the opening.
Yeah.
Then probably I was much better in the second part of the game, but well, first part of the game was his, but also he beat Artemiev, Itasha, Kraker, some strong guys. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. What do
But
you
also not all knight b3 they play queen d3, queen f3, h3, rook g1, moves which no one would consider.
anything, yeah.
a3, yeah.
Yeah, a3, yeah. Well, why would you play a3? Well, they have ideas. Maybe they do it the other way around. They put a3 on the board and try to work out what the idea is.
Yeah.
But especially I find this knight b3 is so counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But it really makes sense.
It has point. It's point.
Yeah. So next question is, what do you do in a tournament if you're not feeling well or you don't feel you're in good shape?
What I normally do in the tournament, I try to go for long walks, even if I feel I'm in good shape. I try to rest more.
Try to recover.
Recover, yeah. Okay, because, even if the tournament didn't start well, there is always games you can get back here. You should focus on them and try to do your best.
Just play each game as this is a new game.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, yeah, but you should try to approach this way.
So the next one here is, he says, I like the Nemso Indian against d4. Capo is a hero of mine. I know he played the Caro-Kann a lot, therefore I'm considering playing the Caro-Kann myself. My concerns with the Caro-Kann is I hear people refer to a poor man's defense. I guess they mean that one e5 or the Sicilian are the best responses to e4. I'd like to know your opinions about the Caro-Kann and whether you think someone playing only the Caro-Kann versus e4 can make it to GM.
Yes, in as a role with Caro-Kann, yes.
It's been
Okay,
done
if you
many
like
times,
it.
yeah.
Sorry?
It's been done many times, people make to GM.
Yes,
with
yes,
Caro-Kann.
even higher. The only problem with Caro-Kann is that it's white who defines the type of game. So he can play e5 and go for the close game, or e5 and h4, or knight c3, to go for sharp game, or e5, knight f3 for quiet game, or he can go to pawn off to have more open game, or he can play knight d2 or knight c3 to have like semi-open game. That's the only concern about Caro-Kann. Otherwise, it's perfectly playable opening.
Good. Next question. I am 27 and have a rating around 2000. I started playing chess at 23, taking it off halfway through my PhD at university. I have reached 2000 by playing chess at my local league without any study so far. I feel I've reached my peak without having some actual knowledge from chess literature. I would like to know if you think it is still possible for someone like me to become a grandmaster if I'm willing to put in the work. Do you have any advice or recommendation for me if I really want to have a crack at becoming a grandmaster?
Well, there are a few parts of the question. First of all, of course, I think you have a chance to become a grandmaster, but probably it would ruin your career in another field. Yeah, you will have to devote too much time into chess, and it's up to you to decide how badly you want to become a grandmaster. And of course, if you reach this level without doing any work, you have big potential. So if you start work, you will improve. And I think we talked a lot about how you work on chess. Yeah, you study books, you play games. Yeah.
Analyze your games.
Analyze your
It's
games.
very important.
Analyze your games, not just to see what you did wrong, but why you did wrong. That's the main question.
So my feeling with this is that I personally became a grandmaster at the age of 30, and it was simply I had to become. If I didn't become a grandmaster, it would be an unfulfilled thing in my life. Well, you always knew you would become a grandmaster from a certain age. I remember there's a story you needed like 1.5 out of 2 for make your final grandmaster.
Yeah.
No, maybe you will tell it better than I will.
Yeah, no, I never had obsession with titles, yeah, because I always thought that my main goal, until now it is to try to improve my game. And I played my first tournament with, my first international tournament with Elsinore in 1986 in Minsk. And I did 1.5 out of 2 to become grandmaster. And I played one with Dorfman, strong grandmaster and trainer of Kasparov at the time. And then last round I had black against the player who was in the last place in the tournament, or one of the last. And people suggested that I would make a draw with Dorfman and try to beat a weaker guy. But I thought that it's so interesting to try myself against a strong grandmaster, and especially to play Grunfeld analysis, Ruby line. Yeah, so I thought it's much more important to test my knowledge and understanding in this opening against grandmaster and to secure a norm. And eventually I lost and missed a norm, and well, to see the perspective, you should see that it could be well my last international tournament for next 2 or 3 years, or no, tournament with a chance to make a norm because of iron curtain, yeah. But nevertheless, I never regretted it.
Not even at the time.
Not even in the evening, yeah.
It was a really fascinating game. As I remember, you sacrificed like 2 pawns in the exchange.
Yes, yes. And then I analyzed it for a long time myself and with my trainer, Albert Kappengut. And I think it really helped me to understand this type of position and the nature of game in these positions. We found some brilliant discoveries. And that's
You actually, did you cross 2600 without becoming a GM? something like this. Yeah, your rating was
Yes,
very
it's-
high, like
it's-
2605 or something.
I don't know. I was already in top 25 in the world when I became champion. But then, okay, it's situation was totally different.
Yeah, yeah.
It was much fewer opportunities to make a title.
Sure. Next question is, I'm always wondering if it helps to solve tactics on a board or solving it straight from the book. What's your opinion? The player asking is around 1800.
I try to say it on the book, but okay, of course, well, it's a bit easier on the board, so solving in a book, it's more of challenge. We talked in the first part about it.
Mm-hmm. But what about solving straight from a computer screen? Do you do that?
I do sometimes, but the point is that, well, people who are younger than me so used to look at the screen, so for them it's natural.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's natural as in the book, yeah, it's...
Okay, next one for a little make-believe question. You're going to be stranded on a desert island for 3 years. You can bring 3 chess players from any era, living or dead. Don't worry, they'll be alive on the island, and 3 chess books. What would your choices be? And he says, sorry, no laptop, but I don't think you want one. If you have to replace a book for a laptop or an opponent, you wouldn't want it. So you
I have to
choose.
know how Barcelona is doing.
Don't worry, you will have a rating so you know how Barcelona is.
Ah, okay, okay.
So 3 chess players and 3 chess books. You need to choose.
I would take Aronin.
You take a run in,
Aronin, yes.
just for the company as
For the
well,
company, yeah, to have fun, yeah.
but also for playing.
For playing, yeah. Who else would I take?
You have to say Alex.
Alex I would take, but maybe, yeah, we'll survive together.
Yeah.
Survive.
If it's a big enough island, yeah? You
Yeah.
can go home to his side of the island
Yeah.
in the evening. And finally,
Well, from chess point, I would take Tar.
Tal.
It
Just
would play
most
blitz and
interesting
stuff.
games.
Yeah,
And he would never get tired of it.
He would never get tired, but on the other hand, it means I would have to take care of him in daily needs. Because he's very unpractical.
Yeah, maybe you should, instead of Alex, you should bring a chess player who's a good cook.
Yeah.
Someone with life skills, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and 3 chess books. From all
Okay,
time.
2, you know?
Okay. No, so certainly you don't want to read your own books.
No. I like Keres 1948. I like
Okay.
Bulgaevsky's,
Mm-hmm.
Birth Operation.
Yeah.
What else should I have? Maybe Kasparov's 2 matches.
Okay, from mid-80s, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think would be the perfect qualification system for the candidates?
I think we have almost perfect.
Yeah, it's, chances from everywhere, yeah? You can come
Chance
from
from-
the World Cup, you can come from rating, you can
Yes.
come from the
Grand Prix.
Grand Prix, and the fear of cheating in this double round there's just no real basis for
No
it.
real, yeah. Okay, of course, people who would suspect, yeah, but no real, yeah.
But we have people who would always say this.
Yeah.
It's cheating.
But it's funny, yeah, that, let's say, Fischer
Yeah.
refused to play in tournament and insisted on matches.
Mhm.
Well, Carlsen refused to play in matches and insisted on tournament. So it reversed 2 times.
I think the problem from Carlsen's point of view was the matches which were short.
Yeah, maybe.
And I think there's a real argument for that.
Yeah, of course. And the long matches, you need much bigger budget. Yeah?
Yes, and but from especially a lot of people are unhappy with the wild card now, the candidates.
Yes, it's true. No one is happy with wild card, but it's a way to secure that the tournament will take place.
I'm very happy. It means the tournament happens.
Yes.
It's
It's
perfect.
bigger chance the tournament happens. Almost 100%, yeah, because someone.
So far it happened.
Yeah.
It's I think we wrote somewhere in one of the books, maybe not published yet, I don't know, but that Rajapov was number 4 in the world on the rating list, and he was quite fairly given a wild card
Of course.
in the tournament sponsored by his father-in-law.
Yeah, we can say so.
But of course, he was. If you had to give out wild cards, he should be number one, to get it.
Of course, of course.
So-
No. All the players who got wild card, there is some limitation by rating, so no.
It was Svitla, Aronian, Radjabov, yeah?
Someone got in Kazan also. Momityarov got in Kazan.
Momidjaro.
But okay.
That's another story for another time.
No. But the point is that there is limitation. I think you have to be 27, 30 or higher, or 50, I don't know.
I thought it was just 2,700.
Probably 27, but still.
But that's only 41 players anyway.
Yeah.
There was, so.
No. It's probably it's a fair price to play that one place goes to wild card, but it ensures the tournament will go.
And it doesn't really change who wins the tournament usually.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean the wild card. If the
Wild
wild card is not a strong player, then
Wild card never won a
even for
tournament.
everyone. Yeah. No one remembers. Yeah.
Wild card never won a tournament.
Yeah.
And it's pretty natural, yeah? Because, okay, if you qualify, it means you succeeded in last, either in World Cup, either in Grand Prix, either you have high rating, so you've been consistent, so you have much more confidence.
Okay.
Confidence.
On the other hand, a wild card to Aronian, if he had won, it would not have been strange.
It will be strange, but if he could qualify, he would have much higher chances.
Sure.
Rather than getting through wild cards, that's what I mean. Because other players has a big advantage of by qualifying because it's clearly they have big successes behind them. Okay, Aronian won St. Louis. He also had some success, recent success, which
Sure.
gave him chance. So it's
Do you consider chess more interesting nowadays than it was 20 years ago?
it's different, but it's very interesting nowadays. First of all, there are much more tournaments. You can log in and watch almost all year long, and some top events, and sometimes even few tournaments at the same time, and much more interesting top level players than 20 years ago. But also 20 years ago it was fascinating games tournaments. I remember Dos Hermanos '96. It's maybe the most interesting tournament in the history of chess, from my opinion.
Yeah. On the other hand, if we think 96, this was sort of the start of a 10-year period with complete mess of the World Championship.
Yeah, there was no World Championship. There were, now we have a quite stable structure, ensures that well, there are more tournaments, and let's say it's very important, I think.
And also from around 98 to 2007, for your career, it was not a good time.
Not a good time.
And not because you played badly, but because there was no official tournaments for you to
Yes.
show that you were strong and you didn't get invitations.
Yes, but there were also like 3-4 tournaments a year. It was difficult to get an invitation.
Just too few tournaments.
To few tournaments.
Now there's lots and lots of
Much more, much more. Of course, the competition is high, more strong players also. But yeah, it was a tough period in my time. Let's say I think I played more town memorials in my life, and I was invited from 98 to 2010 to any other tournaments altogether.
Wow. Boris, who are the players you have deeply admired from the past and from the present? And who have been most difficult and fascinating to play? So we answered this to some
Yes.
extent.
Yes.
Still, if we look at past players, from people you didn't meet, people you only know through the books, of course we have Rubinstein, but if you have to mention a few other players from the past.
All great players I admired.
But still, if people have to start somewhere, of course they should start with Rubinstein, but who else?
Well, okay, we can say old world champions, all challengers, yeah. Also, we shouldn't forget about Larsen and Stein, yeah? So creative players.
Good. Which again, next question is, do you recommend people to study the games of Steinitz and Elekheim? Yes.
Yes, of course, it's good, maybe, especially Alekhine, but also Stennis put a very good foundation for chess nowadays. In a way, he could play much stronger, but I think in many games he just tried to insist on his ideas. Because if he'll be more practical, he'll be even stronger.
Yeah.
But he gave all the pawns against Chigorin and undermating attack and tried to show that he can defend excellently.
Next question. Why is 1b3 or 1b6 not very popular among grandmasters?
Well, nowadays b3 is much more popular.
Yeah. Yubava really.
Jabava plays, but also a lot of guys in the, let's say, rapid use it. Yeah. I think the reason is that this move doesn't fight for the center so directly. I think this is the main reason, especially if white played, let's say, e4 and black plays b6, white can play d4 and take all the center.
So, which also answers why, for a club player, if these systems are good or not. Probably it's better to play normal.
Well, usually one should play what he enjoys, yeah? But I think it's one of the basics of chess that one should fight for the center. b3 in a way fights, but after, let's say, e4, b6, it's already too much in my opinion.
Okay, so some questions we already answered. Next question, is there any estimate of when the question and answer session will be performed?
No.
Let's see what's happening here. A lot of repetition of questions. How many hours a week do you sit in front of a computer?
A lot.
A lot. Okay, if you have to take away the hours where you play solitaire.
Then not so much.
Not so much. Yeah. But a lot of your time in front of a computer is following tournaments as they happen, yeah?
Not only, but I don't follow that focused. I put it and then I do something, analyze the positions, and I make a break and like for 15 minutes.
So let's say some big event is on, like the candidates. What are you following it a lot, or?
Well, I try, but also, okay, I cannot abandon all other things, yeah. We work, let's say, with Alex, and we make breaks once an hour to see like for 10-15 minutes what's going on. Okay, maybe when time control approaches, we have to spend
half an hour.
or something.
Okay, so the next question is slightly long. What's the best player for a player rated 2,400, 2450 to improve? I really want to become a grandmaster. I'm very busy on weekdays, although I can still manage to put in 2 to 3 hours every day, and I have the entire weekends free too. I worked on Jacob's calculation books, done a bit of strategic positional play, and they've helped me a lot. What would be the best way to improve myself from this stage, do you think?
I think you should go on, you should read good books, you analyze your own games, and you play opponents which are slightly stronger than you to...
Yeah, I always find that it's very important to play.
Yeah, of course. You cannot improve just by studying, because, well, it's all theory. Well, in practice, with the problems you face, it would reveal why you make mistakes and in which position you're improved. You could say, so it's clear indication.
Do you know what the definition of the difference between theory and practice is?
What?
Well, in theory there's no difference, but in practice there always is.
Yes.
Let's see here. Here's a question I will answer. What's the forward chess publication date for the new book, Dynamic Decision-Making Chess? It is the 24th of July. When a book is published on Forward Chess, we always release it 1 week before we release the
August.
paper. Yes. Yes. Because it's already the 30th of July today. So yes, it's the 24th of August. It's good you're here to help me. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Yes, I'm sure. What would be the most underestimated aspect of chess one could study? Like, what part of chess study does people not do enough that they really neglect?
Psychology,
Psychology. How would you study that?
by practice, by thinking.
By thinking. Well, we were talking here, we were doing a lecture together the other day, and one of the things you said about your match with Ina Kiev was that he said afterwards that probably he was thinking in the wrong moment.
Yes, yes.
Is that part of what you're thinking about?
No. Time consumption is different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Time consumption is a really different thing.
You're
Also very important.
You're very welcome to elaborate.
No, time consumption when to think, because you get some time allocated for the game, and either you should, let's say an average is 3 minutes per move, yeah? More or less, yeah? And either you spend 3 minutes per move, each move, or you accumulate the moves time in the opening. But also in the middle game, either you spend, let's say, 5 minutes a move, or sometimes you feel the position is important, so you go deeply for 15-20 minutes. But you take a risk that if some more problem would occur, you'll not have enough time. When to take this risk and think deeply, and when to speed up, this is a real challenge, and it's actually it's one of the things which is really talking as well. But also psychology, because it's a game. You can learn from Lasker's game, for example, how important it is to feel that, let's say, maybe you may be in trouble if your opponent plays G4, and good to meet you, but you know that his style is very solid, that he would never do it, or things like this.
Sure. Good. So, Boris, I've heard that many strong players say that progress comes sometimes very suddenly after periods of no or little progress, and that it comes in spurts. Have you noticed this in your own chess journey, and if so, why do you think that is? And also, you should thank me for doing a great job.
Thank you.
No, I think he's thanking me for doing a great job.
He's thanking whom? You?
Yes.
Okay, of course.
I'm just kidding. So anyway, have you found this as well, that improvement comes in
Yes,
small explosions?
obviously. It's a case with most of the players. Some players progress steadily, but actually most of the players progress, and because you accumulate some knowledge, you get to a new level, and then you explode.
Yeah, the model I have seen in a book, which is actually about it was a book just called Mastery, which is about learning in general, but the guy was using his martial arts, which he was studying. He was saying, okay, you're at this level,
Yeah.
then you learn something new,
Yeah.
and you apply it, so you become worse,
Yeah.
because you know how to do what you knew well.
Yeah.
Now you're doing things in a new way, so you suddenly become a sort of a beginner. But then comes some point you acquire it and you reach a new level, and then again you have this.
Yeah. It's good
I
explanation.
like that.
It's a good explanation.
quite a lot. Okay, I think we're getting towards the end here. We'll see if there's any real questions. This is the least boring. Maybe you could say something while I'm looking here.
I'll wait for you.
You wait for me. You say something while I find a real question here. There's a lot of people just thanking us for doing this, which of course is very appreciated.
Of course.
Because we don't do it for ourselves.
Yeah.
If it was not for the benefit of others, I'm sure we would never speak.
Never.
No.
Maybe we'll be in Copenhagen already.
Yeah, maybe we'll be in Copenhagen. Well, it's start raining. Maybe we should go some tourist things. I think we could say that's the end. What do you think?
Okay, it's up to you.
Did you enjoy talking a lot?
Yeah, it's nice, and but also the purpose of it not to enjoy, but to help people, to give some tips, and I hope that everyone who read would not only enjoy, but also take it into account, and hopefully make another step in their chess advance.
At least enjoy the game more. more.
Enjoy the game more.
That's, I think always that's the most important.
Of course. You don't enjoy, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed doing this a lot as well, and the fact that hopefully someone will find the answers useful, for me brings a lot of enjoyment. So,
Yes, of course.
so thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you. And thank you for a good questions, everyone.
Yes, thank you very much. Good.
Okay, Jacob, so what's the plan?
Start.